Hey guys, it's me. This is gonna be a short little, or I guess not short, but regular time for me video about really sampling culture in music. And if you don't know what sampling is, it's basically when you take a tiny bit of audio from like a movie or other piece of music, and then use that as the basis for another piece of music, or you like add effects to it, you make it a loop, stuff like that. And it's extremely prevalent in rap music. Although the practice of taking bits and pieces of musical, like, I don't want to necessarily say theme, but piece of musical composition goes way back, way back. Even in classical music, they used to do that. One thing, in like creepy songs that you'll see is that a lot of um times composers will use the opening notes to something called Dies Irae, or the Days of Wrath, which is this like very famous Gregorian chant about um the day of judgment in Christianity and the return of Christ. Anyway, so yeah, but modern sampling culture is primarily a rap thing, and I just wanted to say that I love it. Like, I think it's one of the most creative forms of musical inspiration and musical interpolation that there has ever been or ever will be. And you know, producers that make music and that use these samples and stuff call it digging in the crates, because usually, especially in the old days, now there are a lot of producers that still sample off of vinyl records, but now I think it's um more common to like try and find digital clips of samples rather than go out and find records. But yeah, so to get um material for their new songs and for the instrumental tracks of their rap songs, they would, take bits and pieces of other music and do all this stuff to it. Well, um, for me personally, like, even if it's just as simple as looking it up on Google or who sampled or something like that, I think that there's an element of discovery to it that's way different than um other forms of music, like, especially because a lot of these rap artists, especially the old ones, I'm a bit of an old head, um are sampling like jazz and R&B and soul, which I love. So it's like you have a song within a song, and then you're led on a journey to discover the sample, and you discover new music that way. And no other, at least to my knowledge, uses sampling or musical quotations in that way. And I think that's something very special. Um, and that's something very revolutionary. I know there are a lot of in the early days there were a lot of controversies around, well, you know, you're using someone else's intellectual property for profit. You know, how much should they get? Should you have to pay royalties and all of this stuff? And for the most part now, the end people seem to think that yeah, you should actually like um and so artists, when they use a sample, have to do what's called getting the sample cleared, which is making sure that the owner of the original piece of music, even if it's just a little bit, is okay with you using it. If not, um then what they usually do is they go back and rework the song without it, or if it's a vocal track, they get someone to cover it, because covers are legally distinct. Anyway, some of my favorite producers and samplers would have to be though, um, all right, number one probably Madlib. Madlib is just so good. I mean, he's worked with so many artists. Kendrick Lamar, um, MF Doom. You guys, I know I love MF Doom. Mad Villainy. Um, one of the best groups, one of the best albums. Of all time. I like also MF Doom as a producer. I like RZA, of course. Um, Wu Tang. Um, I like, who else is there? Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus is also on another level. He I love his jazz samples all the time. Um I think John Coltrane is even his great uncle or something, or like his great aunt was married to some Coltrane, which is like, that's really cool. But yeah, man, I just respect sampling culture so much and what it represents. And even if you're not a rap listener, I would urge you to maybe start with instrumentals, like um start with the early stuff maybe, cuz that's more jazz, that's more soul based. And yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about how much I I love sampling culture, and I love digging in the crates, so to speak. If you guys have any stories about, some of your favorite samples, some of your favorite tracks, or stories about how hearing a sample led you to discover new music, let me know.